Hey guys, we are back with some more Bleach Brave Souls, and today we're going to be looking at the Melee Captain Hard Guild quest. Now, we are doing a little bit of post-commentary, as the commentary that I did initially, my mic was too loud, I was talking too much, too many, breaking the sound barrier moments, so to speak, so we're going to be doing a little bit of post-commentary here. Now, this is Melee Captain, so Melee Captain is one of these weeks where, you're really not going to be resetting, aiming to get like a sub 1 second run. I'm not saying it's impossible, but with the situation that I am in, it is not feasible. A 3 out of 5 Aizen just does not have a soul bomb effect like Artwork Ichigo or Yama has, and it's really tough. So I decided let's opt for a little bit more of a realistic approach. We'll go for like a sub 20, and we do end up getting that in this video. I do all 3 of my runs to kind of see where we're at, and overall I do leave the video pretty satisfied with the time that we have. I remember when I was kind of setting this up and talking to somebody that I talked to, when it's like, all right, what's like the most optimal setup, and kind of learning the ins and outs of Hard Guild Quest to be able to make these tutorials better for you guys. The idea here was that we wanted a little bit of recharge time because we are going to be going into this with the intent of using 2 to 3 vortexes with Aizen rather than just one set of strong attacks like you would in a sub 1 second or a sub 5 second run, right? So the idea is to go for like, I was told hybrid Link, so I used Frenzy or Yoruichi, who has free-to-play stats, which can be a little bit problematic, but we ultimately end up getting an 18-second run in this video. We keep Senkaiman Aizen around, Senkaizen, whatever you want to call him, as well as Senkaiman Chad, showing you guys the quick links, and then the bonus ability obviously is full stamina damage boost, as well as, weaken defense. The typical bonus ability setup for a SP lead in Guild Quest. Now, with this specific affiliation, Captain is tricky because when you use Captain, it's, like I said, you only have a ×3 multiplier and not a ×5 multiplier for the damage, right? And then melee attack, there is no range resistance, so Aizen does just fine in here. But with this specific setup, it is have Aizen hold the enemies in place and let these overpowered Nadbots do their thing. Ulquiorra is very good for this, as well as Yuha is also very good for this, because Yuha has a bonus, or a boost rather, as well as status ailments that he can inflict. He has his own drain. He just does a lot of damage, right? So on both of our Nadbots, I have full stamina damage boost and damage to train enemies, because damage to train enemies lasts longer than damage to weaken enemies, because weaken is a weaker status effect, right? Like, it only lasts for about 2 seconds compared to the extended duration that we get with the drain. So the Nadbots just have more time to do more damage, because this is not like a clear in 3-second run, like I said, because let's just talk about Melee Hollow, right? If this was Melee Hollow, I would have been out of here already, because we're 10 seconds in, and this is what really screws the first run, right? Because we just do not get the kind of RNG that we were looking for, and this run, the first run, is just really bad. Like, nothing goes in our favor. We get hit a bunch of times, and the vortex doesn't hold, the drains aren't being inflicted, and we just can't do as much damage as I would have liked. But ultimately, it's not a horrible time, but it's also not great. Like, 35 seconds, I'd say, is a little bit too long, because the last video that you guys saw was a, what was it? I think I got a 23-second run. So all I'm looking to do with this series, as you guys kind of watch me do it, is watch the slow progression from, sub 20 runs, sub 40 runs, just seeing me being able to beat Hard Guild Quest in the first place, to eventually getting the sub 1 runs. Last week, I did end up getting a sub 1 with Yama in Phase 2, and that was really satisfying because A, he's 1 out of 5, and B, that was my first time ever doing it. So that was a really cool feeling, just kind of watching the bots go down. But you guys can see 42,855. I know some people would be happy with that, and this isn't to say like that's a bad score, but I just know that because last phase that we did this, I got an 867. I know for a fact that I can do better. So that was kind of the idea. Let's go back in and try and have a little bit better of a run. I'll flash that up. I can't talk. I'll flash that up at the beginning. Okay, someone just got a honk outside. But I'll flash step up at the beginning, so that way we keep the enemy, like the lackeys, in place, right? Because that's what happened in the first run, where we really lost a lot of time to getting hit in the beginning. Like, the Nadbots, or the enemy's bots getting like out of range, and then the Nadbots couldn't do anything, and I had to run up and get them. We want to kind of keep everything in the middle. That's like one of the core loops of Hard Guild Quest, is keeping your enemies in the center, so that way the Nadbots can do their thing and deal their damage and not have to walk and run out of their way to go get them. And that's kind of how you keep things in check, right? So here you guys go. 42,872 ends up being the best score that I get in this specific video. And then the next run, I'd say, I think is a little over 20 seconds, but again, I'm only worried about that big score for the day. So 42,872, we will go ahead and try and see if we can get a little bit faster than that. And you guys can see this was my 1000th Guild Quest, so 1,000 guild quests in, but I'm learning every day, getting a little bit better at it as we go, and that's kind of the objective of the series, right? By the time that, who knows, maybe in a year from now, we're looking at sub 5 for every single run, and I can kind of explain how I do it. The problem with these sub 5 runs and stuff like that is it really does just kind of come down to how many dupes do your units have, and that's where it's just kind of tricky, right? Where it's like, oh, great, like I have a max transcendent Yama, of course I can nuke everything, but I don't have that. My Yama's only 1 out of 5, so I gotta go out of my way and make sure that we do everything kind of like a little bit more organic, right? I can't just wail out on a Yama banner and max him, but whenever he comes back, we'll try and get more copies. But like I said, those were the 3 runs for the day, and we will go ahead and look at the options real quick and who you could potentially run if you do not have this exact setup. Again, Yuha is kind of like the butter to the bread, I'd say. He really makes this whole thing go with his boost and the damage that he does because he's on killer this time around. But Ulquiorra is also one of those like crazy good units. So, if you want to have a boost for SP, like an SP booster, you have Ichigo. Doradani works really well. Kurashiki is good, but mine is built for Braid battles, and I don't feel like changing him. He's a little too expensive to all my resources to be doing that for 1 guild quest. And then also, like I said, Dad Ichigo, maybe 1,000-year Blood War Retsu, but she's more for Braid battles. So, that's all I really got for you. Captain is tricky, so if you want to run like an off-killer boost like Momo or something like that, it might work, but you would probably need a little bit of RNG to go in your favor. So let me know down below what you guys used, what'd you do to get your score. It's all fun and games over here until we get to a week like Captain and Espada. This week is going to be tough, so best of luck with your runs. Hopefully you can do a little bit better than I did, but 42,872 is not bad. So don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy, subscribe if you are new, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of my Brave Souls content. That's all I got for you. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time.